Hey Cora here, welcome to my channel, CorasAtHerCorner, and today we're doing some investigation work. This is what's going on while the rest of the world is falling apart. We have people battling over protesters and ICE. We have huge winter storm that completely just snowed us out, and then we got another storm in here and then another storm. You get it. My family's been sick, passing it back and forth. And while all this is going on, the people of northern Indiana, their utility company who supplies us gas and electricity, NIPSCO, is screwing us over to find out we are one of the, if not the highest rate in the country. People are feeling screwed, people are pissed, and believe me, I am pissed too. So I figured I would dig into it, do some investigating, compare some bills from last year, this year, other households that I have permission to do, and I will leave them all anonymous. Do a lot of math, which sucked, and get the real numbers of what's going on. But before we continue, let's roll the disclaimer, as everything I say in this is through my own research and therefore my opinion. And I never ever have a wish to take myself out of this world. So if somebody, if you find me that I have myself, it wasn't me. That's a warning for now. Did some math, did some research, and first, let's get a hold of this millionaire CEO who is in charge of giving people what is a need and necessity, especially during the winter. What did this man have to say? Let's learn a little about him first. So I was able to get access for free of the president of NIPSCO for 2024. Now this is before rates went even more up. So I don't know what's changed, and I'm not paying to see last year's, especially when last year's has just gone through. I have found a lot of this information back and forth between other people's in a Facebook group, through friends, family, and everything in between. So we'll start with Mr. President here. We have Neosource Inc., which, why are we incorporating something that's a necessity? And CEO Lloyd Yates, pay package for 2024. He has made over the year $12.8 million. Something that's a necessity. Why can't we give them a normal salary? I'm just saying, because that's a lot. And you know where some of that money could go besides going to this man's pocket? So we have linemen that go out and do their job, make sure electricity is going and making sure things are staying safe and make sure gas is not leaking and doing their jobs. We're only allowed to call for emergencies during the hours of Monday through Friday during business hours. Why? Oh, that's right, because he cut their hours. I know that for a fact. I have Googled it. I've looked it up. It is a resource. That is a fact. I've heard from linemen say they got their hours cut. Their hours have been cut. So we're getting screwed over that. So not only did we take away money from workers and taking more money from people, why does this man deserve $12.8 million? Why? Hell, I would do his job for $500,000 and be very, very happy with it. Hell, I would do it for $100,000. But it's probably got mansions to pay and a penthouse in Chicago for all I know. That's my opinion. It's just a guess. I don't really know. But yeah, so his base pay is $1,133,334 with a bonus of non-equity incentive comp of $3,230,100 with the total cash comp. There you go. It's over $4 million. And the stock award value. Okay, so stock, I get he can invest in stock. And then this other is $155,495. What is this other? His bonus? So that is the total of his pay package. I don't know how stocks work, so I couldn't get into that with you. I apologize, but anybody who's a stock expert out there, please, lay it out down below in the comments. I would be happy to learn something else. Now, onto this bills. We're going to start with what people are not noticing too much right now. So electricity, I had made a video quite a few months ago because they decided to up that price. So there's this little section over here on the bill, and it tells you how much they charge for pipeline transportation and contract storage charge for, gas. Understandable. They tell you, how much. Like, I'm looking at this month, it is, so basically if you round it up, 36 cents per therm, and then almost 37 cents per therm come January, so they raised the price again. Here's the thing, kilowatts per hour for electricity. There's nowhere on the bill that explains this is how much we're charging you. So I think false information was released out there, because I did the math months ago and I did the math again. So how much they're charging for kilowatts per hour now. So kilowatts per hour is 22 cents. And I did the math last year and it was 19 cents. So that went up 3 cents, which can be a lot over the long run. And it really does show on the bill. But then they do this gaslighting thing where you just need to use less electricity. You need to do this. You need to do that. Why do we have to reduce what we need to do when you're the one controlling the prices? You're a monopoly. Nobody is fighting against you, so you can put the prices whatever you want. They do have to get permission to do raises. However, in my opinion, this is my opinion, the people that approve it, there's always a chance, because we know politicians can be very dirty, that somebody's getting a little cha-ching in their pocket to be like, okay, yeah, we'll look the other way you raise it. It's possible. Not saying it's true. It's possible. So electric went up 3 cents per kilowatt over a year. I did the math. I looked at gas last year, and I looked at all these bills. Everybody had the same prices of kilowatts per hour and per therm. So that's what I really did want to check to see if they were screwing certain people over. And that's why I wanted to see quite a few bills. So they are charging the same rate there. That's one thing I wanted to check. So let's go on to gas. What we use more in the winter. We use electric more in the summer and gas more in the winter. Now last year, gas went from 27.07 cents. So I usually round it up just because it just does better. So 28 cents per therm. And in January of 2025, it raised up to almost 30 cents per therm. Okay. And that doesn't include the pipe and transportation. I get that. I don't think they raised those up very much. And even the pipe and transportation last year went down a little bit. I totally get transporting it and storing it, because that is gas that can be very deadly. Because some people may not know, because I did not know till recently, the gas you put in your car and the gas that you use in your house are different. More of is like a fume thing, and then the gas is more like an oil thing. I did not know that. That's interesting. I did not know that. I don't know how I know that, because people are always like, gas is cheaper here now. Why is that price going up? Well, let me tell you, it gone up for no reason, because I looked at the price of natural gases that uses in our homes, and it's been steady. It hasn't really changed. So why are they raising the prices? But anyways, back to my bill. For this year, for the therm, we went up almost 36 cents in December to almost 37 cents to December per therm. And if you did the math, which I did, it is a raise of 25.92%. 25.92% within a year of a raise. Almost 26%. 26%. Why is it going up that much? Is there a reason? This is where I'm going to put here of what our dear president of NIPSCO said, Mr. Lloyd Yates. More like Lloyd Christmas. According to our dear president, weather patterns are affecting the bill. 25% rate in gas is affecting the bill. 25% rate, not the weather. I've been living in Indiana all my life, in northern Indiana, and I've never seen my bill since I started paying. See, how old am I? 20 years? Oh my God, 20 years ago. Almost 20 years ago. Wow. I've never seen it fluctuate that much within a year, or because one winter was different than the other. Because winter is unpredictable here. It's always going to be cold and there's going to be snow, but you don't know what it's going to do when and all that. But there's no way. It's blaming the weather, blaming the customers. When are you going to talk about how you're just raising the prices so that you can have your data center and you can replace people's jobs just so you could pocket more of that money with AI and data centers. Allegedly. That's my opinion. What people are freaking about now is the delivery bill. Now, here's what I figured out. The delivery bill, it fluctuates, and I had to figure out how they charge for the delivery bill. So I had to look it up, because if I called the lady, she was either going to read off those off of Google or tell me that I'm nuts. NIPSCO determines gas delivery charges by combining a fixed monthly customer fee with variable usage-based distribution costs authorized by Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission. These charges cover infrastructure maintenance, safety compliance, and system operations. Delivery costs account for approximately 51% of the average bill. Honey, it costs for a majority of the bill. So I want to show this one first before I get into the other households, because I found this online. So I'm going to keep this person's identity a secret because I didn't ask. I just saw this in the Facebook group, so I just kind of want to keep this person anonymous completely. I just wanted to show you guys real quick. It's public, so the public can see it. This person claims that the only gas that they use in the house is the dryer. That's it. $269, and they want to charge a $20 fee. They did their own math, and 660% higher than the actual gas usage. Then I decided to look at the other houses, compare them and stuff, and the reason why the delivery fee is going up because the prices have gone up. And with the delivery fee, from what I heard through the grapevine, they're adding secret fees. And you can't tell because I looked at all three bills, all three houses. With this person's at 660%. So I started with my house. So for our household, the delivery fee was 165%. 165% of what we owed for gas. Now, the next household, which has the same amount of people, by the way, the children in this house are a little bit older, but the same amount of people in the house and pretty close to infrastructure. Their delivery charge was 108%, almost 109%. And then when I go to the third house, the third household was about the same as us, except for they have a two-story house, I believe. So their house is built a little different, but our bills were pretty similar. 155%. 10% less than us. There are only, I think, in that household 3 people, but one of them is an infant. So people are wondering why our delivery charges are higher, is because our prices are higher. I even did the math for electric, and it went up almost 14% within a year, the electric. Now about this, we got new meters in. I had no choice. I could have turned them away, but I didn't even answer the door, and they just put it in anyways for our new meters. Well, there's information going around all over the news that allegedly a lot of these are faulted, that they're charging us more than what it needs to. So they have actually been under investigation for quite a while, and it was all calm and whispers because they didn't want the news to know, and the news knew they were keeping it low allegedly, but now that it's out, it's out. So they're getting investigated not only for the meters, but to see if they're adding extra charges, which I have a feeling they are. And here's the funny thing. I would love to see a breakdown. I would love to see on this bill a breakdown of my delivery charge. I would love to. So I know why you're charging me almost 166% more than what I owe you in gas. And I added that percentage with my total, actually including transportation and storage, because that I get that price. That's understandable because that is a very dangerous thing. But in my opinion, that money needs to be going to the people who are handling it, not some president that's taken over $12 million. So I thought that was interesting. That's what we're going on right now. People are protesting. I've heard all kinds of stories on here. One person that made up a group allegedly is getting threatened and said that if something happens to me, I never wanted to harm myself. And that's why I'm saying this now. don't want to harm myself. I have 3 lovely children I want to see grow up and maybe one day have children of their own. So that's what's going on. Let me know what your opinions are, what you think your electric company's doing, and maybe why or why not we should switch these monopolies so they stop overcharging us for stuff that's actual needs. You know, like refrigerating my cold food and freezing my frozen food and keeping my heat on, and in the summer getting some kind of air flowing through. Because not all of us can afford a pool. Not all of us want to go down to a beach where there's like tons of Chicagoans over there. Some people don't even live near a beach. The biggest thing though is this is a big winter area. Like, winter, in my opinion, here starts in November and ends the last snowfall after spring. So somewhere at the end of March, which I am hoping and waiting for, because I can't do this anymore. Constant snow, just constant snow. You know, everybody had that ice storm and stuff. Northern Indiana is still getting snow. Like, I think today was a lucky day. But yeah, and then my windshield wipers were not working, so that was fun. They work now. Oh, and my windshield wiper fluid is frozen, so as I'm driving down the highway to get to my kid's appointment, I have a truck in front of me blowing salt and dirt and shit at me, and then I can't see, so I have to pull over and throw snow at my windshield wiper because my windshield wiper fluid is frozen. Let me know what your opinions are down below. Do you think these companies need to be having competitions to where we can actually live affordably? Do you think monopolies should just be outright banned? Do you think they need to have more regulations, which I think they do? Or do you think all these companies are fine? They deserve all that money from us poor people. You know what I mean. But thank you for watching. If you like this video anytime, please like, comment, subscribe, share. Hit that bell to know when I go live. I usually post videos on Thursdays, sometimes Tuesdays. We're going to see how this week goes as my family is healing from all the crap since right before Christmas. So until next time, bye. But yeah, no, no, this set 26% raise. And I looked at all 3 bills. All 3 bills was the same. 26%, almost 26%.